putting YouTube live. And thanks as always to sponsors, Galaxy Blinds, Cornerstone Business Solutions, Advanced Utility Solutions, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Dovecot, and TGM Cars. The team tonight, first of all, I must say condolences to Stewie Bohm, former centre-half, great duo, him and the late great Willie Madron. He sadly passed away today. I bumped into Stewie many a time. I interviewed him for Borough TV. He used to host the Legends Lounge, which I'm in now, and he was a character. By all accounts, a terrific player. I didn't see him, but him and Willie Madron, by all accounts, were as good a duo centre-back partnership as any in Borough's history, 150-year history. But he was a character, straight-laced, no messing, effed and jeffed. I loved him, and I could imagine him being a centre-half who took no nonsense. So condolences to Stewie's family. Well, tonight, Borough, we were looking to get back in the rails against Leicester, an average Leicester. I think they were 14th in the division going into the game tonight. But we obviously get done on Saturday, 3-0 with Watford. So we're looking to bounce back. The team, there was 2 changes in. We came Strelick and Whittaker, and out went Fry and Brown. Brown went out, probably tactical. Fry, by all accounts, was injured. So it was a back 4, Bryn, Target, Jones, Ayling and Britton, Bazog on the left, Whittaker right, Hackney, Morris, Conway and Strelick. Up top, the subs were McGree, McLaughlin, Brown, Nipan, Senny Silvera, Banguera, Edmondson and Hansen. What game did I see? Well, it was a mad game. I mean, the first half was fairly boring. Then could see both teams getting in at half time and it being 0-0. Both teams had a lot of possession. Both teams flattered to deceive. Both teams lacked creativity. Both teams lacked a natural striker. But the 47th minute, Hackney was adjudged to have handled the ball, and he did. But it was outside the box. His body was inside the box, but his arm was outside the box. And he gave a penalty. No, I'm not a referee, and I never really scrutinised the referees. But on this occasion, if his hand is out the box and it hits his hand and his body's in the box, it's not a penalty, it's a free kick. Anyway, they got the penalty and they went in 1-0 at half time. Neither team deserved to be a goal up, but anyway, they get the second half. Big Rob Edwards, as always, he chopped and changed. It wasn't his 61 minutes in. Nipan and McGree came in. And I have to say, McGree, he really turned it on second half. We tore up his shreds down there, left or right. McGree went to the right. Whittaker changed from the right to the left. And we created more balls in the box, more quality in the box. And later on, a ball came in for the right, but it's 96 minutes. I'm sure the majority of fans have switched off by then, went to bed if they're fortunate enough to have a job. Ball get whipped in, back step, there was Ayling, up like a kestrel, bang, great header, looping header into the far corner, and we nicked a point. When I say nicked a point, we did, 96 minutes. And by the way, Leicester are a poor team. But the first half, neither team deserved to go in at half-time 1-0 up. They did because they get penalty. And also, we got a sending off. Jones was sent off. Now, I'll be honest. Well, I'm honest. But in my opinion, the ball got played. The lads went by Jones. He has definitely pulled them. But I think there's a Borough player covering. I don't think it's a clear-cut chance. No, if it's right down the middle, level with the goalkeeper, and he pulls him in, then that's... But he was coming in for the inside left position. And we'd somebody, I didn't quite see who it was, but I seen the red shirt, was going to cover. So for me, it wasn't a sending off. So Jones is obviously going to be out. But we grabbed a point. Again, you can see we got out of jail. Coventry were getting beat 1-0 and went on to 1-2-1. Just looking at it here, with Coventry 2-1 against Sheffield United, Stoke 3-0 against Watford, but obviously drew 1-1, and Millwall get gubbed, Wallop humiliated 4-0 by Birmingham, who we play on Saturday. So what a game that's going to be. But at the top of the pile, if you've not seen the league, it's Coventry in 31 points, 38 goals. Stoke City, 27 points. They're second now. They've scored 21 goals. Borough, 25 points, so we're third. Still sitting pretty, 16 goals. Millwall, they get done as well, don't they? 24 points. Charlton, 23. Bristol, 22. Hull City 22. Preston, they can get they've got a game in hand, so they can go up near us. But anyway, was I happy with what I seen? Not really. What it's as plain as the nose in your face. Some noses are bigger than others. Remember Jimmy Durante, what a snout he had. No, seriously. Up front, we're still blunt. Top scorer, 2 goals. We've got about 4 players on 2. Now Ellington with a goal. He's only one behind the top scorer. That's embarrassing. It really is. I can't track back though. Let's see. We need wingers and a striker. Wasn't a pen either. Every week we makes a daft decision, gives the ref the chance to award. Good evening, this jumping, sorry, it's buffeting. Good evening, Bernie. Deserved that point. This is for Andrew Liddell. What rate the lads put in? Thought McGree. This is jumping badly. I hope the person who deals with me sorts it out because it's just jumping. Commentary 131. Oh, it was 3. Wow. Mark Smith says, I wish our forwards had the desire to want to head the ball as Ayling did. Conway is busy but never seems. Oh, it's bad. I'm sorry because it keeps jumping and buffing. Good point tonight. Would have taken that at the beginning. Ah, dear me. I'll need to get the. Something else on to read these because it's just jumping. It was deserved to win this one. Don't know what Hackney was doing with Pentley. Regardless, it was in the box or not. I think we need to pick up a front 3 and stick with him. No, listen, he goes up for it. No, it was a stupid handball or handball, whatever you want to call it, Josh. But it did hit his hand, but it was outside the box. And I thought the rules were if your hand's outside the box and your body's inside, it's not a penalty. Anyways, water under the bridge. Matt Watt says, even Burnley, the referees in this league are utter gash. That means rubbish. The common denominator for a slump is the slow, sideways, backwards passing. All right. Let me just see if I can get it on here because it's pathetic. It's just jumping and it's not good enough. So apologies. Let me see. Right, okay. 26 points. We have did you say 25? Have a look. Okay, but we're not going to fight out a point, are we, Leslie? You mathematician, Einstein. There's always one. Paul McLean says they need to start to knock it. Birmingham is a test. Oh, without a doubt, Birmingham is a test. Let me backtrack these ones. The system we are playing now, Bernard, this is for Steve May, we are relying on wing backs. Well, wing play. There were no wing backs tonight. It was flat back fortnight. Despite goals in previous matches, Whittaker is a lightweight. Disappointing tonight. Bazog didn't pose a threat. Also, give Hansen and Seni a run out in the wide position to give the system a chance to work. Really lucky point. Credit to Ayling. Man of the match for me. Yeah, Ayling was terrific. His attitude's terrific. We know what he's all about. He's a vastly experienced campaigner, had a great footballing career, and he's still having a great career, and he's rallying the troops, and to come up in the 96th minute with a header of that quality takes some doing. You wouldn't think at his age he'd be able to get off the ground. I'm joking. But it was a great header. The rest of this league, so yeah, good evening, Bernie. Wish the lads had the same desire to go forward as they do going back. Yet again, a lacklustre performance from forwards. That's for Gary Butterworth. Paige Dinsdale says, Britain very poor today. Bernie, also the ref had a bad game. Conway missed a sitter before the equaliser. Good point, Paige. So if you've not seen it, I think McGree got it, and I don't know if it ricocheted, and it eventually came to Conway's 1 against 1. For me, cool, calm, pick your spot. But again, he's rattled it. He's tried to bust the ball, and he's hit the keeper. People say it's a good save, but for me, it's a bad miss. Well, Bernie, I think it's fair to say Rob Edwards' honeymoon period is over for Andrew Smith. Great. I'm trying to just hold here. Yes, great goal at the death there, but come on, should be beating poor teams like Leicester. Leicester were really poor. What on earth has happened to this team? But we're a bunch of strangers. We can't pass, we can't create, and powder puff up front. This Strelic fellow is the new Alfonso Alves. So he's saying he's the new Alves. And so on. Look, I'd love to read it all, but it's just disappeared. If I get on here, I'll read it. I'm just trying to bounce between one another. Matt Watts says, evening, Bernie. The referees in this league are absolute garbage. Tony says, just too slow build-up in the first half. Yeah, there was no real tempo in the first half. It was frustrating. I mean, I'll be honest, I was bored first half. I looked at it, I thought, this is boring. I was nearly dozing off. The heating was on and there wasn't much excitement, no goal threats. We had 2 shots. Whittaker had one by the post, Hackney had one by the post, Taggart had one on did he have one on target? And that was about it. Yeah, he'd won in target. When Silvera plays, he whips crosses in and gives us width, Bernie. He should have started along with McGree. As I say, his best games have been the pre-season, and he's been dipping in and out the team. Sometimes he come on, doesn't make an impact, but he come on late on the night, and he did well. But McGree, for me, he was the main guy that changed things. He really he moved to the right. Whittaker went to the left, and we looked a better team, more lively, more attacking minded. Are we concerned that the constant rotation of the forward players, the lack of goals has to be a massive concern? In terms of Australia, he looks like the next Piero. Don't say that. A player we tried to sign for so long and looks way off it. He does, Paul. As I say, I'm still supporting him, thinking he's not played that many games. He's not got a partner. You know, you ask me now. Somebody asked me. I've seen it on these messages I get. I might not have time to read them, but it was something like, who would you like to play with up front at the minute out of all the strikers? None of them. Not one of them. Why? Because they wouldn't compliment me and I wouldn't compliment them. So for me, we have not got a strike force that complements each other. We need something that's different. As I say, and I'm fed up saying it, but I played with guys totally different from me, different animals. Tall, aggressive, elbows, ruffle feathers, knock opponents out if need be, within the laws of the game, of course, and I would just feed off them and I would get the goals. Well, hopefully get the goals, but there's no link-up play. The strikers are still miles away. There was 2 up top tonight, miles away. And Saturday, miles away. It takes time to build up a partnership. Centre-halves get the luxury of that. You know, whether it's a 2 or a 3, in the main they're playing, unless they're injured. Up front, we keep chopping and changing. Wide positions, chopping and changing. We need a settled team. And once the settled team gets into the groove and starts winning, let it roll. And if they won, we keep it going. And that's how you get respect off the players. You know, if I was playing a few weeks ago and we'd won 2 or 3 and I scored a goal, I expect to be in the team. If I was Brown 4 games ago, 3 games ago and then 4 games ago, 2 games he played, he was man of the match for me. Then he got dropped. Then he came back and then he's out again tonight. Has Gibble got out left on his checkbook? Is he anything left in his checkbook? This is for Russell. I hope so. Get a striker. We're crying out for who can buy in goals. But as I say, I've been saying on here for 5-6 weeks. I could see this coming and being the issue away ahead of the game. Some people say, no, rubbish, good defence, that'll be. No. Good defence is vital, but scoring goals is more vital. The hardest thing in the game is to score goals, an opposition goal. And we've got 2 as a top scorer. 2 in 14 games. Come on. 2. I'd be embarrassed. If I was sitting with the lads now, I'd be saying, listen, Conway, and listen, if I was new boots, I'd be embarrassed. I don't care how many miles you run and how many tackles you put in and how many shots you hit over the bar. Count your goals. But if someone said to me before a ball was kicked, we'd be 3rd in the league, not playing well, I would take that. For Steve Guthrie. Oh, Steve, listen, we're still sitting pretty. And we've had a great start to the season. And we showed real balls to get out of that tonight, because I'd never seen it coming. It was a bit of a Houdini act tonight. Conway should have done a lot better with his chance, but overall, we really feel the strikers in feeding them quality balls. Leicester, I thought, looked poor. They were poor. And we should have caused them a lot of problems. It feels like Edward doesn't know his best team. When we talk about goal scorers create their own bit of magic now and again, but they need service. Does Hackney and Morris behind them create defence cutting passes or defence? Do they hit great balls into the front men to score goals? I don't see it. When the ball goes wide, if it's Bazog on the left and Whittaker on the right tonight, in the first half, did they get any real quality balls in the box? No. The 2 midfielders, or 3 if we play 3, they're there to create as well as defend. They all do the defensive duties, but they're not very good at going forward and creating for the guys ahead of them. I just think the modern player's too nice. I would be absolutely ear bashing the lads behind me and the lads in the wide positions, without a doubt. Dominated second half, completely more shots at goal than in recent games. We'll miss Jones. Hackney needs to be dropped, Bernie, in my opinion, because he's not playing well at the minute. I have to say, Andrew, I probably agree with you. Well, I don't know about drop, but he's not playing well. Replying to Chris Andrews doing well at Millwall, isn't he? Luke Ayling was my man of the match by a long way. This is for Cal Wildo. If we had 11 given his effort, we would be top. Josh Ranson says, hi Bernie, should we sell Hackney for 20 million and get a priority striker? Well, we tried to sell him for 20 million, but he didn't want to go. So that was the deal off. Middlesbrough agreed, Ipswich agreed, but Hackney can kick the ball wherever he wants, and he didn't want to take it. Good evening, Bernie. Deserved the point tonight for Andy Connor, but so poor up front. Borough have to get sorted if we're to make a serious promotion challenge. Never a penalty, according to you. It wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. You know, I usually sometimes think, well, it's not that black and white, but tonight it was black and white. His arm was outside the box, his body was inside the box. The arm's outside, so it's not a penalty. But even after sending off, which was correct, see, I didn't see it again, but one off, I thought I seen a red shirt covering. But anyway, it's by the by. The lads still kept going, so credit them for that. Yeah, the lads deserve credit for battling away to the bitter end. Richard Collins says, we're doing far better than the team we are. The big boy's not performing at the moment. Let's take our chances. It won't last forever. We would have then 1-1 at Leicester at the beginning. We'd have then 1-1 at Leicester at the beginning of the season. You best get your Specsavers, Bernie. It was clear penalty. It hit his arm. No, Leslie, you need glasses. It hit his arm without a shadow of a doubt. Not even open to debate. But it was outside the box. His body, his feet, legs were inside the box, and his hand was outside it. So I would say you should go to Specsavers, Leslie. I thought you were right. More glasses already. Edward's still Bookie's favourite for Will's job. Do you think his head will be his head has been turned? Listen, Rob Edwards would be an absolute nut job if he was to take up the Wolves, to go to Wolves. Leaving we're third tonight, but we're in the top 3, 14 games in. Fans are all behind Big Rob. He comes across really well. He's going to go to a team like Wolves, who rock bottom of the league, has probably no money to spend even when January comes. And another relegation in his CV. Would that look good? No, I think he has to look at the big picture. I'm sure Rob's clever enough to know that, you know, I cannot see it. I cannot see it. I know the rumours are rife because I've not got a manager. By all accounts, Gary O'Neill turned it down. Brendan Rodgers, there's no way in this planet. I like to hear with a donkey. And if you've got a donkey and Brendan Rodgers joins Wolves, I'll come to your stable and eat hay. There's no way he will go there. Obviously, he's got a job. Law 12, direct free kick, penalty handling the ball. A penalty kick is awarded if a player commits a direct free kick offence inside their own penalty area. Handling the ball is one of the direct free kick offences. The location of the offence is where the contact occurs. If the hand stroke arm touches the ball outside the penalty area, even if the part of the body or feet are inside, it is not inside the penalty area. Thus, not a penalty. So, Leslie, get it right up, you son. That's from Law 12. Look it up and then get back in touch. Yeah, so thanks for that. Mark Smith, hiya, Mark. Conway doesn't anticipate the ball coming into the box. He never managed to get across the defender. He's behind him, so it takes a quality ball to find him. He needs to get busy in the box, not running here, there, and everywhere. Ayling was outstanding. Brown needs to be sat on Saturday. I personally thought it was a red card as we were last man and did take it out. Wasn't a pen. Hackney's arm was outside the box. So I think the majority are agreeing with that. Replying to Leslie Coates, Andy K. Tanner says, have you got VAR there, Leslie? So Andy Tanner's asking you. Nah, Leslie's a fantasist, man. He just says what he wants. Chris Andrews says, a penalty that never was. Wingers, Bernie, we need them. I agree. Closest we got is Silvera. And we should go and buy Josh Sargent, is it, or Sargent from Norwich? I know the lad can't pronounce his name. If we can get him. Look, there'll be wingers out there, but can we get them? Have we get the money? Are we going to spend the money in January? Can't drop Hackney, most quality player we have. If he isn't playing, he's one of the very few who can change a game in a moment. Richard Collins. Oh, that was one of the previous messages, Richard. No, I would see him through it, but tell him, come on, we need more off you. Saturday was poor. Tonight, hitty missy, passes going astray regular, shooting off target. We need more than that. More than that. I'd get the still shots, looked 100 times, touches his arm, and it's level with the line. Leslie, you need a new telly, son. You need to get a better, more level television. You're probably watching it side on. Need to get 2 lights for it. Need to appeal that red card. Daniel, I wouldn't go over the top about red card. He was one of the last men, but I did think I seen a red shirt covering. Maybe I was wrong, but regarding the arm, I'm sticking to that. Replying to Richard Collins. Richard Collins' problem is he doesn't change the game enough. Nigel Chambers says, good point away from home against the team in a false position. Are they in a false position? Tell you what, they look ropey. A hard team to play against the conditions, positive celebrations. Hopefully we can kick on from this end the game on a positive. Nigel Chambers. Michael Burniston said, Bernie, what do you think of his leading way, his elbow, his speed, Hackney and Fatu? I can't pronounce the names. Challenging target winning. Yeah, there was a couple of naughty challenges, but it's all part and parcel of the game, isn't it? Graham Addison says, condolences to Stewie Baum's family. I'm sure we all agree with that. Andrew Noble says, give Senny a run of games. He's the only one that looks like he can do something. Go on, Bernie. We need to find Uwe Fuchs in January. Oh, I'm not swearing. Uwe Fuchs was a German lad that came over, long-haired lad, and did very well in a short period. Good to see the lads' black armband for bombing, Bernie. Timmy, yeah, it was great. We always have to respect the elderly and your family and the dead. We should always do that. I think there's times at Middlesbrough over the years when we've bypassed certain people who's passed away. And well done. Baum was one of the greatest. I've heard from good sources, guys that played with him, how good he was, and a leader and a captain, and he was ruthless. He was very funny. It wasn't a red card either. Should have been a yellow card. This is for Chris Andrews. What is it with the refs against Borough? Oh, by the way, talk about refs. Conway could have got booked diving. Late, was it first half or second half? Second half, ball went back stick and he dived in typical fashion. I'm against it. I don't like cheats. I don't like diving. We've criticised the foreign players for years. We've got a player that does it in the red shirt of Middlesbrough. I don't know how many times he's dived this year. Stay in your... You don't have to cheat. Don't score. Anyway, needless to say, we never got it. What do you think of Australia so far, Bernie? Cal Riley. Hi, Bernie. I hope you're well. Leeds fan here. Really chuffed for Luke Ayling, Steve Robinson. Hiya, Steve. Big Leeds fan, Steve. And Ayling, tremendous. Cal Riley, what do you think of Australia? I don't think he's settled yet. He's not settled in the area, I can imagine. Hard for me. It took me a year. And he's found it very hard on the field because he's not got a partner. Who's looking after him? I had players looked after me. When I first came to Middlesbrough, Archie Stevens looked after me. Ian Baird looked after me. Paul Wilson looked after me. All different players. Conway's looking after himself. He's running here, there, and everywhere, and doing what he wants. But he's leaving. The golf is so great. He needs to start linking up with Strelick if he's playing with Strelick. Couldn't score in the brothel this team, Bernie. That's a big Michael Webster. Hard watching 2 strikers run about like headless chickens. You know, when I was younger, my late father used to say to me when I was playing amateur football, he didn't have a car, on the bus or walking home, he used to say, listen, son, you're like a headless chicken. That was a saying in Glasgow for years. And yeah, I see similarities when I look at Conway, just running here and everywhere. It's like a hose pipe. You go everywhere and anywhere. There's no pattern. It's just everywhere and anywhere. Work rate's brilliant. His work rate's amazing. His heart, size, brilliant. Diving I don't like, and doesn't get enough goals. You can work your ass off night and day, but then they see if you've got 8 goals, garbage. Don't forget we're a top team. We're in the top 3. Top scorer 2. The more I see it, it's hard to believe. Would have took a point before kick-off, definitely penalty and sending off, but we didn't give up on Saturday. That's with Steve Cuff. Sorry if I missed something. I was just jumping so quickly. Luke Thomas put some deadly balls in today, Bernie. Why couldn't he do that for us? Looked average at best at the Borough. That happens, Paige Dinsdale. We missed a trick not buying Carlton Morris. He's a proper goal scorer. David Grayson says, great point, left it late. It's clear we need McGree in from the start. Don't want to pick out players, but some inept performances tonight from some midfielders, midfield attacking players. Need to take a rain check and watch the performances back. Timmy says, excuse me, absolutely great ball into the box from Ayling for the goal. It was a great ball into the right, and what a header. It was a great header. Trevor Marsden says, Hackney sometimes gives the ball away because he does try and pass the ball forward. Even on a bad day, he's better than most in the league. No, Trevor, hold on. Hackney sometimes gives the ball away because he does try and pass it forward. That's what he should be doing as a midfielder. As a midfielder, an attacking midfielder, which Hackney's class is, you have to pass forward. And you have to pass it accurately. That's what I mean. Modern players get away with murder. The first trainer taught me you get the ball with plate there. Majority modern players play it square and back. We're like crabs. Square and back, square and back. We could do that all day long. My granny could do that. Reply to Gary Clark. Gary Clark, it doesn't matter who Borough buy. If there is no supply of link-up, they won't score. As I mentioned on here, and I've mentioned away ahead of the game, we lack wingers. So tonight we played 4. We played 4 at the back, 2 up front. The wide men, Bazog and Whittaker, not natural wingers. McGree come on, went to the right. Whittaker changed to the left. We did get a lot of balls on the right for the first time in a long time. But still, McGree, for me, is not a natural winger. So we've no natural wingers. Then we switch it to the 5 at the back with wing backs. And the wing backs, Britton and whoever plays wing backs, for me, aren't good enough. They're good enough defensively, but not going forward. Taggart. So you can Taggart and Britton. When they go into that last third, I don't think the quality's good enough. But it has to be real, genuine quality. I say it every week on here because we've not got height. It has to be whipped in. It has to be a certain type of ball. You can't cross blind. I feel as if we don't actually look to where we're going to hit the ball. We get the ball and we're looking at the floor and we drill it in. You need to lift your head, see where you're putting it, put it in the plate. McGree's a starter for me after his performance when he came on. Looked lively. How was Brown dropped again? I don't know why Brown was dropped again. Don't know the answer. Leslie, you win Olive's glasses from the buses. Craig Tales, that's a good one. There you go. Leslie, you remember her? Olive, big Olive, wore the big glasses, big thick bottle. Yeah, there was Lowcock's bottle, the bottom of Lowcock's bottles, the glasses. Yeah, I think he is, Craig. It's a good shout, that. So McGree, starter, if he comes off fit. I thought anybody. He doesn't play Saturday because I've seen this happening. Players jog off, we rave about them and praise them. They don't turn up on Saturday. And don't forget, he should be sharp and really, well, not match fit, but he should be fit. Bernie, do you think we point the finger at Conway, but we need to look at the service in the squad? Conway runs here, there and everywhere because he's not getting service. Well, if he's not getting service, do you know what he has to do? And he doesn't do it. Open his mouth, point the finger. Let the fans know who he's pointing at. Let everybody know who he's pointing at. F and Jeff and give them it right up their jacksies. I would do it. I did it to John Henry, who was a great player. Henry would give me it back. Gary Hamilton would give me stick. Stuart Ripley, they would all give me stick, but I would give them it back. If they weren't getting the ball to me, I would be on their case. I don't see any player via my television or when I'm live at the games at the Riverside, I don't see any player giving any bashing to their teammates. If you're not getting the ball, give them it. You're allowed to give them it verbally. I don't mean punching, verbally. Let them know I'm up here running my ass off, running about like a headless chicken, like some people say, and I ain't getting any goals. I've got 2 goals out of 14 games. The guys at Coventry, they're probably not doing half as much work. They've scored 8 and 9 goals apiece, and I've got 2. Well, if I was Conmy, I'd run the riot act without a shadow of a doubt. I'd go on that bus or whatever they get, and I'd be saying, listen, what about you getting the ball into me? I'm the striker. I'm the goal scorer. That's what I'm here for. I'm classed as a striker because I strike. Well, you're not striking, you're just running about. Donkeys, well, endurance-wise, donkeys can run for miles. But it frustrates me. And if I was in Conway's shoes or boots, I would be fuming. I'm not getting the service. I'm working my ass off every game, and I'm not getting the rewards. Why am I not getting the rewards? Because the guys running about me are not giving me the quality service that I need. But sometimes they do get balls in, and he's not sharp enough. He got one tonight, and only one. I think he's one by the post, and then that was his first shot on target. And I told you, when you're a forward, a good finisher, when you go through and go 1-on-1, you lift your head, you get to keep the eyes, and you need to keep calm and composed and calm everything down. He doesn't. He's rash. Whoa, there you go. Rattles it right off the keeper. Keeper made a save. He could maybe chipped it, went round him. Few options, but when it comes to him, I'm thinking, you're just going to rattle it again. And he does so. Maybe he needs a wee bit of coaching. I'm not thinking of taking him for a job, by the way. If I met him, I'd say to him, I used to watch Macaroni. He was the same. Wanted to bust everything. McGree was starting Saturday. Well, if he's fit, he will be. There's nobody keeping him out. Yeah, Sullivan Ridge. Yeah, Leslie knows. He admits he's got the old olive glasses. Richard Collins says terrible at Watford, but a good point tonight. It's all about the best home game now, or the next home game now. Nobody is running away with it up the Borough. Martin Peachy says, why we not getting away wins, Bernie? We should put too many crosses in the mixers. No, we don't put it in the mixer. Wimbledon, for the younger viewers, Wimbledon, no matter where they had it, whether it was the halfway line, right or left, they would just put it, what they call in the mixer, right into the heart of the defence. And there'd be blood everywhere, and bodies everywhere, and arms everywhere, and bust noses. And that used to be in the mixer. We cannot put it in the mixer because we've nobody to mix it up in there. We've no big, aggressive centre forwards. We're all fairly small. And centre halves in the main are tall and aggressive. This team is not a patch in Big Jack's promotion team of 73. Could do with a Bo Madron type partnership now, actually, Mike Wilson. Graham McTiernan says, hi, Bernie. I watched it here in Romania, 14 games in. Ari doesn't know his best team. No, he doesn't, big Rob Edwards, but great to be in the top at this stage up the Borough. Hey, 14 games in, we're sitting third. Why does Borough play rubbish against struggling teams? Listen, we've only won is it 2 in the last 8? So we need to start turning around. But to win games, you need to score goals, and goals are at a premium at the minute. And I'll be honest, I couldn't see a goal come tonight when Conwy missed that one. I thought that's it, gone. Although there was balls coming in to the right, I'm thinking, well, there's nobody with the aerial threat. But Ailing had drifted up there and thought, you know what? I'm going to take the bill with the horn. I'm going to show them how you do it. And he did. What we call me is 1-on-1, Bernie. Come on. That was embarrassing. Well, you do miss them, but he should have done better. You know he should have done better. He'll go home tonight if he's a true forward and no sleep, tossing and turning, thinking, should have scored that, should have put that away. I think home game Birmingham is going to be really tough. They won 4 tonight, didn't they? 2 centre back out as well. Does Edwards know his first 11 information changes every game? Yeah, I think Big Rob, and you're right, I agree. I think, you remember Ranieri always say when you talk about changing all the time, I know the majority of managers do it. We've got a big squad, by the way, so we can't afford to do it. But I don't think it's any good for anybody when you're chopping and changing all the time. You know, McGree, let's hope he plays Saturday, because I thought he was very good when he came on, and he looked sharp and he looked hungry. But he's been out for best part of a year and a half. Now, that's disruptive in itself, being in the dressing room and limping off, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's a great shame. But that's disruptive. Rob Edwards being linked with Wolves is disruptive. Strikers not getting goals is disruptive. So there's loads of things you can lose your way if we're not careful. But I think the best way to succeed is Rob finds his best formation, barring injuries, and finds his best team. And if they won, let it roll. That's how you get respect. I've been a player. You do well, you expect to play the next game. If you don't, it's like putting you in the undercrackers. I think in comparison to previous seasons, we are a lot more hardworking as a team. We lack the killer instinct, that's for sure. But when was the last time we were up before the festive season? Up there before. We have ground out tonight with the 10 men, and that for me is a total positive. Dave, I agree. I think last year we would have chucked it. We wouldn't have done it. I mean, 96 minutes. Out in Sir Alex Ferguson playing 5 at the back, you'll win nothing. Quoting rather. Yeah, so Michael Burniston says, quoting Sir Alex Ferguson, playing 5 at the back, you'll win nothing. That's what Alex Ferguson did say, and I heard Tony Mowbray saying it, a couple of months ago when I was with him. Jeff McLeod says, all right, Bernie, do you think the forwards and general attacking play will come good? To be honest, no, I don't. I predicted this 5-6 weeks ago. People on here were going, oh no, you're talking rubbish. The defence is good. The defence is good. I just don't think whether we play wingers and a 4 in the middle or 3 centre backs and wing backs, I still don't think the quality of service is good. It has to be a certain type of service, and that's where the problem lies. You know, if we'd a big centre forward, 6'6", not the best player, but a handful for opponents. The boys go up there, just get the balls in the box, and the big lad goes up and does his stuff and ruffles a bit. But we've not got that. It has to be a certain kind of delivery. A great delivery. I mean, I've seen Hackney pulling wide a few times tonight and hit the first man. That would do my head in. Hit the first man's a... Wait, Beckham, many first men did he hit? Very few. He didn't go by any of them. He used to get it, drop the shoulder, and bend it round the fullback. All the time he did that. Good effort tonight. Final third worries me. James Chapman. Listen, I'm sure it'll worry Rob Edwards. I'm sure, look, if I'm a defender, I would like to think the guys I played with looked at me and thought, cut offside, diz your head in, Disney tackle, hat the size of a pea, not got a right foot, but you know what? He'll get us a goal tonight. We've not got that. And the defence will be talking about the front men thinking, 2 goals, come on. Ailing, the only one to shine. Others didn't seem interested. No flair, no ideas. Looked tired, clueless at times too. Sad for position we are. Should be top of the world. He's saying we should be top of the world, indicated. Oh, we are. We're third top, but the other teams are starting to. Again, Coventry's in 31 points. Stoke, where have they came from? 27 points. Borough's 26. Millwall 24, Charlton 23, Bristol's 22, Hull City are 22. So it's getting all tight up there. And Preston have got a game in hand. So they could go up there in the top 3-4. But hey, we have to concentrate on what we're doing. We have to... Wrexham, I thought we got out of jail. Done on Saturday. Tonight, out of jail, 96 minutes. We have to win Saturday. Home games are paramount. If we want to get to where we want to be, top 6, top 2, we need to win home games and pick up a point away from home. But Saturday's a massive game, and they won 4 tonight, didn't they? And they've been huffing and puffing Birmingham. There's a lot of talk about them, but 4 at this is better. 4 at this is better. I prefer the old 4-4-2 wingers and 2 strikers, big man and small man up top. Chris, I do. But we've not got the clientele to really do that. Well, we try it now and again, but we're not good enough. I really don't know where Whittaker plays. Or Bazog, or McGree. I don't know the best positions. McGree, excuse me, when he was fit, was playing left side. I was thinking, I'd love to see him number 10. He's never given that opportunity. I still don't think he's a left winger. He came on his right side tonight. I don't think he's a right winger. So I don't know who our best. The last natural winger we had was Doak. So Vera, yeah, but he does it in flashes. Is he going to be, can he do it week in, week out? Can he be consistent? Can he be creative? Can he defend? Because first and foremost, the defence is good in the main. It's going that way. We've got the issue. Hi, Bernie. Edwards has to solve the issue of lack of goals. That's his challenge now, Mick Hill. I think without a doubt, Mick. Without a doubt, that he knows that. He'll know that. He's not stupid. He's been in the game a long time, as is his coaches. And the stats, we can all have an opinion on football and in forwards, but the stats tell you that we're struggling up front. And opposition teams will look at us and go, do you know what? They don't score a lot of goals. I mean, Coventry, 38 goals. We've got 16. 38. More than double. I'm not good at maths, but that's a hell of a lot of goals. And defensively, I think they've only conceded, we've conceded 2 less goals than them. So they've got it right at both ends. We have to look at them as a yardstick to say, right, they've done it, and they've got both sides sorted. We have to get this last third sorted. But how are we going to do it? I honestly don't know. Honestly, it's something I've feared for the last 6 weeks. I could see it coming. And now it's happening. And I honestly don't think we're good enough to create and get a lot of goals. I don't think there's going to be a game we're going to buy in 4, 5 and 6. Benny, you'd not believe who's top of the assist charts in the championship. Ryan Giles. Get away, Simon. What, was that for 5 years ago? Seriously? I don't even know where he is now. Where is he? Let us know where he is. I think we've been lucky. Hopefully get someone who can finish, start scoring. Luck won't last forever. That's with Stephen Matthew Frost. David Grace says, Stoke play Coventry on Saturday. We must beat Birmingham and another international break in the top 2. How much incentive do we need? Well, we could have climbed a bit higher tonight, especially when I've seen Coventry getting beat 1-0. Bernie, we will win on Saturday. All the mourners will go back into the shell till we lose again. Up the Borough, Stephen Guthrie. I don't think the Monite are just a wee bit perturbed that we're not scoring a lot of goals. I think deep in every Borough fan's delighted as to where we are in the league. We're still sitting pretty, but we don't want to stagnate. We want to keep blossoming, and to do that, we need to score more goals. Slow tempo kills us. This is from Matt Watts. Did with Carrick a lot, and it's creeping in sideways and backwards. Slow passing. RE made a big thing about the ball being as far away from the keeper as possible. That hasn't happened for about 7 matches, and we're doing Carrick tactics. Yeah, I mentioned that last week about a Carrick ball was creeping in. Yeah, there was a lot of balls tonight, but going nowhere. Nothing balls, I call them. Nigel Chambers says, nice to see effort in the final whistle last season. Our heads would have dropped and lost that game. I agree with that as well. Mo Cummins says, Leicester were a Premier League team last season. Still got some decent players. We dominated the second half, even with a man sent off. Don't think we have had a bad game all season, apart from a goal scorer. If we're around the top in January, go and get a big man. That's a good shout, that. James Chapman just says Hull City. Oh, he's at Hull. So he's going back to Hull City, did he? And he's the best provider. Wow. As I say, when he under Carrick, he came back and we had a bad defence, and he couldn't defend Giles, and he struggled, and he wasn't really in the team, and I thought it was a bad move for everybody concerned. We are 19th in goal. Actually, Michael Burneston. Yeah, look, we're all having a wee, not whine, but we're all concerned about the lack of thrust and ruthlessness and clinical finish in the last third. And we're just thinking, how are we going to start getting goals regular? You know, tonight it takes Ayling. What is he, 37? 37-year-old who's playing in defence to drift up front, come in at the back stick, be ferocious and brave, and loop a header, which was a magnificent header. Absolutely fantastic header. Now, if he can do it, what? And by the way, Luke Ayling, is he bigger than Conway? I know he's braver in the air. I'm sure he's had a few broken noses throughout his career, but it was a brave header. It was a great header. It got us a point, and he got us out of jail. And we did play better second half, much better. But we need to do that for the off. The first half, a lot of passes, just predictive, boring, sterile passing, and go nowhere. Flatten to deceive, I call it. And they were doing likewise. They were doing the same thing. Where are we? Stoke are playing Coventry next week. We need them to draw. Need to draw and us to win, and we back on track on Saturday. Just can't see how we're going to score goals though. Hey, look, you know football. You're right. You're right, especially the Borough. You write them off at your pill. You say, "Oh, we can't do this, and we won't beat them," and then we turn around and score 4. But as I say, it's difficult getting goals. I mean, I go to games that I'm concerned that we're not going to get a goal. I'd like to know how many goals Burnley scored last season. The promotion was built on the goals against them. Good defensive side. Lots of 1-0 wins. Yeah, 1-0 wins is great, but I'm sure they scored away before 96 minutes. We scored a few late goals. I mean, last home game against Wrexham. Wrexham were the better team, in my opinion. Wrexham probably deserved to win, but we nicked it. But there's going to be games where we need a goal and we need a saviour and we need somebody to hang my hat on and say he's going to get the goal, he's the man. We've not got one. We've not got one. We've got one guy that runs about. We've got another guy who needs help, as in linking up with a partner, and he's not got it. That's Strelic. Senny and company can come off the bench and hopefully exploit the opposition with a bit of pace and flair. But it's all ifs and buts. There's nobody that you say he's a centre forward. Centre forwards are there to score goals. Wingers are there to provide goals. Central midfielders are there to defend and supply goals and to chip in with a few. But 2 goals. The stats are there. Stats don't lie. We've all got an opinion, but when it comes to stats, there's no room for argument. There's no room to manoeuvre. The stats are, we've got 2 goals, top scorer 2 goals in 14 league games, and we have been up in the top 3 for the season. Come on. For me, it's unacceptable. It's not good enough. The work rate's phenomenal. But what are we giving us goals? Fans pay to see goals. The more goals you score, the more comfortable you can be in games and start to enjoy them rather than biting your nails and up to your elbow, biting the guy next to his nails. Then you end up biting your toenails. Bernie, who would you sign in January? Out and out striker, who's available in the mould of Uwe Fuchs? Simon, I don't know who's available. I don't know what money's available. That's probably the biggest question you should be asking. I don't know any of them. But I would still be going for somebody that is different from what we've got. We've got 3-4 strikers, or 3-4-5 attack-minded players. I wouldn't call them strikers because strikers score goals, who do well but don't do enough, and they're not aggressive, and we need somebody different to compete in the air. So the balls come in the box, different angles, different heights, that we know we're going to compete and battle and scrap. I've not got that. Stop cherry picking the questions, Bernie, and bypassing my facts. Leslie, get your glasses on, son. Stats don't lie, you're correct. No, they don't lie, of course they don't. Britain is right back who doesn't cross the ball. Britain is a right back who doesn't cross the ball. As I say, if you're playing wing back, you have to cross the ball in the last third, and you have to put some decent crosses in. Philip Steve says, this Strelic guy looks useless. We paid so much for him, expecting so much more. But Phillips, look, I don't know the boy Strelic for Adam, right? It took me 1 year to. I live up the road, Glasgow, 2.5 to 40 minutes. This guy comes from somewhere in Europe, totally different. Settling in Teesside is a difficult thing. I'm sure he's living up in, well, I don't know where he is, but I'm sure he'll be in some hotel, luxurious hotel. But it's still difficult getting to know your new surroundings, new teammates, new tactics, new training regime, new coaches, all that. And he needs a partner. Give him a partner. I tell you what, get some 6'5" hairy ass centre forward that's going to break noses all over the place, get him up alongside Strelic, and let's see Strelic blossom. Ball goes into the big man, Strelic feeds off him, gets the crumbs, entering around a button, bang, bang, scores goals. He's not scored a goal yet, is he? The longer it's going, the more the press he's getting dragged down. But he's not got a partner. You need a partner. I was going to say so strictly come dancing. You don't go in and dance alone. You need a partner, don't you? But I don't watch that crap. I don't think we have a recognised winger in this team. We don't. Nice to see Riley back. We might get some service in the box when he starts games. But let's hope, Nigel, he's cleared the injury. He's injury-free and he plays for now at the end of the season. But you have to just calm down. Tonight it was good, but let's hope he comes out on Saturday. But there's nobody keeping him out of the team at this minute. This Australia guy's looks useless, I mention that. David Grayson says, on the other hand, with our lack of punch up front, we are third. If he sorts it out and it clicks, we are in a position to thrive. But it has to happen sooner rather than later. I agree with that as well. See, we all know, everybody knows what the problem is. The elephant in the room, if you like. We all know what it is. But have we got the players to turn it round? I don't think we have. I don't think we have. We've not got the quality in the box, and we've not got the finishing touch when he comes into the box. And it has to be a certain kind of delivery. Britain crossed the ball for railing. Yeah, it was a great ball, Mark. Well done, Britain, but one great ball in half a dozen games is not good enough. Ryan Giles, somebody mentioned he's the biggest creator in the championship. Dear me. Dear me. When is he going to see what we all see? Whittaker offers nothing on the right wing. Listen, Michael, it's a good question. Whittaker scored 2 goals. He's joint top scorer, so he's as good as any of them when it comes to putting the ball in the net. Yeah, 2 goals. He's a joint top scorer. There's about 4 of them. But didn't Whittaker play up front or number 10 when he was at Plymouth Argyle and scored 19? Or am I making that up? Check that out. So maybe it's us that's doing him an injustice by playing him out there. Maybe he wants to be up the middle. Maybe Alien should play up front. Laugh out loud, Chris Andrews, dear me. Get Gary Parser back, Bernie, of the local lads. Wait, Martin Peachy, hey, look, he's my pal in that centre half. He's not going to be a centre forward. Ball comes in, he's like a turtleneck. His head disappears. Maybe a Tony Mowbray up there batting a few. He would do it. Put his head in when it hurts. Paul Smith says honeymoon's over. And so is the show nearly over. I'm going to, I'll read a few of these because I always apologise. Where is this? Bob says, what do you think, Bernie? What do you make of Rob Edwards' interest by Wolves? As I said earlier, I don't see any benefits why Rob Edwards would move from a top 3 in the Championship with a big squad and been backed to go to Wolves for an absolute turmoil and rock bottom of the league. Don't get it. Whittaker plays number 10 in Plymouth. There you are. So number 10. So there you go. So it's us that might be the problem for Whittaker, not Whittaker the problem for us. We paid £5 million for him. Correct me if I'm wrong. We certainly paid a few million. So we paid money for him and play him out of position. So Whittaker, number 10. Nobody's who fits the number 10 role at the minute that you say he's untouchable? Nobody. We used to play Azaz there. I think he missed about 2 games last year. He's gone. Why not give this lad what he can say? Do you know what, son? We paid a lot of money. We've been playing you out of position. You've done your best, but we know you're better than that. Have a go at number 10. Simon Murphy says, just interested, Bernie, how you got the number 7 shirt, Bernie. Did you inherit it or ask for it? I know your hero was Dalglish. Simon Murphy. Yeah, that's a good question. I know we're backtracking, but when I first came to Middlesbrough, the late great Willie Madron, there was 3 guys that really made my Middlesbrough career at the very start. Was the late great Willie Madron, Barry Gill, that was the chief scout, Willie was the manager, and Chairman Steve Gibson. He sanctioned it because the top man was on holiday and Gibble sanctioned it. So they were the initial why I signed for Middlesbrough, and yeah, they gave me the opportunity and the chance. When I came in, Willie Madron handed me the number 9 shirt. And number 9, my first game was against Bradford City. First game was down at Leeds. We could beat 1-0. And then my first home game was against Bradford City. And I got the number 9 shirt. And I had it I'd be lying, I don't know how long I had it for, but I had it for a wee while. weeks and months, and I went to Roy and I says, "Listen, Roy, could you give me the number 7? I don't like the number 9." I was a wee bit superstitious, daft at the time, not superstitious now. But needless to say, Wally went, "Yeah, of course." And that was it. That was me with the number 7. So that's how I got it. Leslie says he scored 47 at Plymouth. 47. Bernie, do you think this is for Nathan Walton? Bernie, do you not think things will click very shortly? Because I think we have a good squad and we just haven't clicked yet. You've got to think we have had a lot of new faces come in and a few are from abroad, where there is a lot of changes, i.e. intensity, different coaches, different climate, settling into a new place to live, different teammates. Totally. That's what I'm saying about Strelic. I'm only picking him out because he's from the other side of Europe and he's a centre forward like myself, and I know how difficult it was for somebody that speaks English or broken English or Swahili, how difficult it was to settle in Middlesbrough. I wanted to go home after 2 months, less than that. If it wasn't my late father, I would have went back. So Strelic might be going through that. He's not scored a goal. He's not got a partner. He's still settling in. Some of the other lads are still settling in. But the quicker we get a settled team, I said this several years ago, that a settled team, that's what breeds confidence. You reward players by keeping them in the team. The players that's out the team, if I'm a striker and I'm a star man, star striker, score more goals than anybody else, I'm the best striker at the club. I know that, the teammates know that, the fans know that. Then I get injured and I'm sitting in the stand for a couple of weeks. Then I'm back in the bench. And then somebody that's in my position is scoring goals for fun. I don't expect to get in. I have to bite the bullet and get on with it and just tough it out until he's an off couple of games or injury or whatever. But you don't, that's how players that's out the team when you're winning, I'll accept it. They'll think, well, he's doing well and he's scoring goals and defensively we're sound and we're not conceding. So I just have to bear with it. You know, I just have to bite the pillow. It's good description. Bite the pillow. Bite the pillow, and just get on with it. And that for if you're dropping players when they're playing well, they don't really know where they stand. I've seen it when McLaren was here. I've seen it when Karanka was here. I've seen it when they're all been here. They drop players when they're doing well. You reward them, and other players, they'll accept that. Bennett, so let's see. You joined Borough from Albion Rovers. What was the biggest challenge moving from Scottish football to the English League? Full-time football. Where's the question, Gary? Sorry, it's not Gary, it's Michael. Yeah, I was part-time football in Scotland. I had a part-time job. I had a job for I was 21. But I was part-time footballer. I'd never sampled full-time football. When I came to Middlesbrough, that was my ambition, to be a full-time footballer and train every day, but I found it difficult. I was fit and I was professional, but it was difficult going in and training every day. I enjoyed training twice a week in Scotland, but all of a sudden, every day I'm at training, every day I'm in the gym, I'm in running around Stewart's Park, I'm running up Rosebery Topham. As I say, I was fit, but it was difficult at the start to settle into the area and settle into the training. So that was my biggest challenge. Leslie's biggest challenge was getting Iron Brew. No, you could get that here. Where are we? Also, games like tonight, the Borough from last year's for Nathan Walton. Under Carrick, we would have lost. I say that, I didn't say Carrick, but past seasons, we'd have lost that game tonight. For me, the dressing room and the mindset of the players is massively different. Just fingers crossed Edwards finds a sweet spot. Look, I think Edwards is a breath of fresh air. I think he's got a bit of charm. He's good in front of the cameras. The lads look as if they've taken to him. The fans look as if they've taken to him. Well, I know they have. And rightly so. And he's up there in merit. It's not by fluke or default. He's up there in merit. But we just have to get back in the rails and start to get back to winning ways. I say the last 3 games we've had 2 draws and a defeat, which isn't great, but we're still sitting pretty. We're sitting third. That letter you wrote to the top English clubs, Borough replied, lots of notes written in the back of the letter. Yeah, it was probably, can he talk English and not very quick and stand. He's only got a right foot for standing and can't head the ball and it's offside regular, Chris. I think that's what was on the back of the. That was the scout. I'd written a letter. The scout had written the late great Barry Gill that he'd written on the back of it. Wee bits. I think he spoke to a lad called Kelman from Celtic. You know, to see if I was a decent lad, what I was like. I mean, when I first came to Middlesbrough, I remember Willie Madron was very suspicious. The late great Willie Madron. Suspicious when I went to an event. I was only a couple of days here. I was on trial. It was over in Billingham Arms, I think. And Willie said, the lads, right, you want a drink, want a pint, want a pint? He says, what a pint? I says, no, a Coke. And he went, no, do you want a pint? I says, no, I don't drink. And he says in his book, he was very suspicious of me. Still don't drink. Lack of goals, Bernie, is going to be a downfall, Colin Ibbotson. Strellick is nowhere near what we need. Conway is struggling on his own and their shooting is bloody awful. Let's hope it changes soon, and I'm not hopeful. Michael Burnison says, if you could bring one player from your Middlesbrough team into the current Middlesbrough squad, who would it be and why? Right now, Ian Baird. Ian Baird, go up front, lead the attack, knock heads off, and score goals and make goals for your teammate. Ian Baird. No hesitation. Unpopular opinion, I think we should start Strellick with McGray and Hansen Saturday and play Whittaker. Listen, thanks very much. Sorry I didn't give reading all these, dear me. Thanks very much for joining us. Well done, Luke Ayling, for pulling it back. Well done, the travelling fans. I heard you through my TV, as always do. And roll on Saturday. Let's hope we can get. Oh, let's get 3 points. I don't want anybody saying afterwards, oh, a point's a good point. No, point's not a good point. At home, we want 3 points. The last home game, we got a point against Wrexham. For me, okay, but not great. Away points, great. Home, we need to win all 3. So Birmingham are on well, they've had a dodgy old start, but they've won 4 tonight, so they're coming up in the crest of their wave. But we've got a late goal. Ayling, a leader by example, and he showed that again tonight. Thanks very much. Cheers, Bernard. Cheers, James. Thanks for tuning in. All the best. See you later. Leslie, don't forget to get your Betty glasses on or whatever it's called. See you later.